and you need to ask a question, click that box down below. And then you can ask a question, and we'll answer it for you as we're going along in the call tonight. We're going to go for about 20-30 minutes, kind of telling our story and talking about how we got into Young Living and the ways that we use essential oils in our practice. And then we'll open it up for questions for you guys, because we know we've got a lot of practitioners and stuff on the call that you guys possibly have questions about how that works and stuff like that. So to start with, we really wanted to kind of introduce how we were even exposed to essential oils and Young Living at all. And I'm gonna let Cindy tell that story, because it's kind of her fault a little bit. So I'm gonna let her do that.
All right. So it's kind of cool that they asked us to both be on, because we're really opposites.
Because she's the awesome one.
No.
And that's why they asked her to be on too.
We're opposites, and so no matter where the story of Young Living in your practice finds you, we're probably going to talk about some of where we were at on that journey, because we finally come to a common ground with this and been able to propel ourselves forward in business, not only chiropractically, which is what we do. I don't know practitioners as far as what y'all are practicing, but when we talk from a practice standpoint, it is from a chiropractic family wellness office. Specifically, we see a lot of pregnancy and pediatrics, and so I'll talk about in a little bit why that is important. But we really came into the whole MLM, network marketing, and chiropractic in general from a different standpoint, even though we were married. And so a lot of people, when they hear just bits and pieces of our story, will make assumptions. But I just want to say that from the get-go that we were pretty much on opposite pages. And so in saying
meaning that, I was all excited and she was not.
Yeah. So this was our 13th MLM when we finally stopped and landed on Young Living. And something that's important about that, the family wellness aspect of this, is I may have to nurse on camera here in a minute. So which is why everything's like wellness. So, but anyway, why it's important to really land and stick on something when talking about network marketing is that we feel that your best success will come when you're putting your all into one company, just like it is for practice and stuff. And so find common ground, whether that's with your spouse or other doctors that you
office manager,
with,
your other doctor,
or with your staff, and just make sure that you guys have a common goal and mission moving forward, because that's what made the difference with us when we finally decided to be on the same journey with this. It really propelled us forward into success. And so when we came into practice, much like what we hear from other practitioners, patients really see you as somebody who has basically a whole pond that they can go fishing in of people that they otherwise wouldn't have ability to have access to. And so we were running into, from day one in practice, everybody bringing us the latest and greatest and saying, hey, you need to try out this product. We want you to sell this, that, and the other. And Jim Bob always had a constant interest in that, because starting out his senior year in high school, he had started dabbling in different network marketing companies. And although we feel like Young Living is the best product, that wasn't what made us successful. It wasn't their product. It was the fact that we finally got our mindset and our heart in the same place and really driven towards something. And so he knew that there was a lot of business success in the MLM structure and doing this network marketing venture. And so he was constantly trying to find something that was successful. But I was the person that always drew us away from that, because I just felt like I really bought into the dogma of what the reputation of network marketing was without looking into it at all. I wasn't a salesperson. I didn't really sell chiropractic. I just lived it as a lifestyle. And so that sold itself to our staff and to our patients. And so it wasn't something like I felt like I had to sell the chiropractic, but every product they were bringing, they wanted us to be salesy. And I thought, oh, they're wanting me to get into this pyramid scheme stuff, not even knowing that that was illegal. And so I was just constantly turning down, whether it was a patient or him, all these new ideas that people kept bringing us. And so oils were something that we really didn't look into that much. We had a patient bring them, but at the time when we started into practice, we did a bunch of supplements and adjusting. And so we were just really busy and focused on opening up our practice and keeping that successful.
Because we were first introduced to essential oils almost like over 11 years ago.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we were fairly new, in practice in that first 5 years.
We've been in practice over 13 years now.
Of getting a business off of the ground and getting it successful. And part of what we did is we used, whether it was in our just basic new patient testing or throughout their wellness journey with us, we would use scent a lot to test things. And so part of that was obviously with oils, but we didn't really have a specific product or a company that we chose to stick with. And so we would just tell patients, hey, you know, grab whatever scent you like from the store, just pick whichever one is cheapest. The brand doesn't matter. We know that, you know, cost-wise, they have a certain budget that they're going to spend. And so obviously we wanted that budget to be in office and not on these expensive oils. And so we had a patient who had watched and listened to us, and she was a family friend at this point because we were having kids along with her. And so she brought in this box at the time. Young Living just gave us a voucher for a diffuser, so that wasn't even in there. And there was a few oils, and she said she was under our upline now and was a good friend of hers too. And our upline is actually a naturopathic doctor. And so we were co-treating this patient, and she said, you know, Young Living is the way to go. You ought to utilize these. And so we said, that's great. You know, I didn't want to offend her, and like the box, it was pretty packaging. And so it pretty much sat in the back of our office, and occasionally we would pull it out to let patients sniff it. And when they would say, hey, what is that? Or I like this peppermint or whatever, we'd say, great, go down to the health food store and grab you the cheapest bottle of peppermint. Because
that's exactly what we did.
I would tell patients, I hate that the only way that you can get Young Living at a reasonable membership cost is to sign up with this MLM. And then I would go on this tirade about why I was against network marketing. So part of the reason why we do these calls is to tell people, don't do what we did, because we don't want you to make our same mistakes.
Yes.
So
learn from us, help us help you. Okay, so what happened was this patient introduced us to Young Living. We were like, sweet, we'll totally take the product. We'll put it in the shelf in the back. And then, like she said, we were just going to use it interspersely. But we had our protocols. We were like you guys. We were busy. We had our protocols down. We were cranking in the office. I'm still full-time in practice now. Cindy works our Young Living business full-time and is double full-time with the kids. So she does that. But at the time, you know, we were full-blown in the office. We had 2 birthing centers we had opened. We had a fitness franchise. We were busy. And so, like, we didn't even look at it. Like, we didn't even look at the oils. We shelved it. But the product that we did use a lot in our office, we see families and kids. Like, our 2 main populations are pregnant moms and kids, and that's our jam. We like the kiddos. Well, the thing that we started using was the Thieves Household Cleaner Concentrate. Like, we really use that and the Thieves hand soap in the bathrooms religiously, like literally, like, I mean, we use that stuff all the time.
So we gowned our patients, and they were sensitive to different chemicals and stuff. So we were always looking for natural detergents, and Young Living didn't have a detergent at the time. So we would use the concentrate in the wash machine. We would spray our tables down.
Spray the toys.
So, we just really,
tubs.
Yeah, we liked the concentrates. But the issue was, and this is something, if you already have a downline and you're building a team, we didn't know all that Young Living offered. And so we had no idea what a difference in a quick order versus an essential reward order was. So there was no thought.
We didn't look into their supplements. We didn't look into meal replacement.
Nothing. So there was no thought of us being on essential rewards. And so every few months we would make huge orders, somewhere between $400 and $1,000 for supplies that we needed on a quick order. And so we were losing out on percentages. And then what would inevitably happen is I would hand out our member number, or somebody would call into customer service and tell them our name that they wanted to sign up underneath us, and we would have no clue what they were doing. I just thought that they were ordering product, because again, I didn't look into it, but I thought, you know, we're not ordering, and so we won't get a percentage of this, and I don't want to do the business side. And so we would mismatch months. We would place this huge order, not get an ER percentage because we were on a quick order, and then you have to have a certain amount of an order in order to get paid if people order or sign up underneath you. And so they wouldn't usually do it in the month that we ordered. They would do it in the next month.
So we were missing everything all the time.
And so as an upline, what we changed with that is we do our best to try to watch people and spread out their orders so that they can maximize on freebies, make sure that they know what ER is and how best to place orders within their office if they're just using it for office use or to carry things on the shelf. And then obviously if they have patients or somebody else for that matter signing up or utilizing their number for whatever reason under them, then we check for them and make sure that they've placed an order in that same month. So come 2013, it was actually a few months before that, we moved back into a rental property of ours to work on it before we got it ready to sell. And at the time, our kiddos were 2 and 4. and just with shared airspaces, because it was in a townhouse, the vents were really, really dirty. And so that started affecting their health, and they had not had issues beforehand. And so finally we were doing everything in our toolbox in order to address that and support their system and get them as healthy as possible. And it wasn't working. And so we went down our list and we're like, hey, maybe we should check the air vents. And so this natural company came out, and I read through their ingredient list of what they wanted to clean our vents with. And I was like, absolutely not. I'm not comfortable with that floating through our house. And so I just, on a whim, I think it's a total God thing because I don't believe that things happen by coincidence or mistakes, gave the guy a bottle of the Thieves Concentrate and said, hey, would you feel comfortable using this in your machine to clean our vents? And he was like, absolutely. So he cleaned the vents with that. The house smelled awesome. We obviously didn't have any side effects because we weren't using something that was toxic to the kiddos. And so that just got the wheels turning in my head. And I told Jim Bob, yeah, it worked great. And so I told Jim Bob, I said, we've got that whole box of oils in the office. How about we
which I forgot about.
And start using on them. They were going to school at the time, and so it was great for support. And so much like other products that we use in the office, we started utilizing it on our family and got great success that way. And so then our patients who had been guinea pigs with us from the start, that's why they call it practice, right? Started using it on them and just really liking what we were seeing. And then lo and behold, one of the months that we placed a large order in, somebody decided to sign up underneath us and we get this check. And so that coincided at the same time when we had a trip scheduled to Florida, and that's always when I kind of, have my time.
No. Tell the story right. Okay. So she's messed up. No, that's not it. Like she's telling the story. She's changing the story on you. No, I booked the trip because we got the check. And this one over here that was totally like anti-MLM, like when that check came in, she goes, which is what most of you have done too, don't lie. And when you're like, there's a check that came in and I don't remember doing anything for that, which I'll talk about. She goes, we got to check on this essential oil company on Young Living. I think I want to check into this. So this guy, I went, oh, really? This is the 13th network marketing company that I really looked into, trying to find a product that was legit enough and a company that was good enough. I was like, let's fly to Florida because it's her favorite place and I want her to be able to research it. There was not this coincidental like, oh, we got to check and we happen to be going to Florida. I booked this so that we could get to the next step.
There was no professional account options at the time. Otherwise, I would have gladly signed up for those. But that check got my attention because with other products that we would sell from our clinic off of the shelf, I was one that really liked to see the numbers and liked to see the benefit of that. And so if there was a product that I could mark up 100% and get profit off of that, I was much more likely to put work into carrying that product and doing the research on it and stuff. And so that's why it was finally a substantial enough check. And it wasn't huge, but for the little amount of product
like $150 or something
that we carried, it was enough. Yeah, it was enough to get my attention and say, okay, I haven't really been, salesy with these products like what I pictured you having to be in your mind, and this works. So I want to figure out why it worked. And so we went off to Florida, and I got on every YouTube channel that I could think of. But why this worked and what we henceforth teach our downlines on this, where to not make the mistake on, is that beforehand, not only all the stuff leading up to this, but I was also in full-time practice. I didn't have the kids to worry about. And so it was practice. And there was no way that I could put the amount of work that needed to, especially at the beginning, happen for Young Living to get off the ground and be successful. And so at this point, I was in practice very part-time and doing mostly things with the kids. And so this gave me a vision for something that could help me still keep relationship with my patients as a mom, but not have to be in the office 24/7 and yet still be able to contribute to paying things back like our school loans, and then putting some money, if it went forward, because I had seen the income disclosure off of what this could do for our family. And then I had him in my ear the whole time. MLMs are great because you don't have to be, in office the whole time. And so I was seeing all these things unfold, but yet I had the time now to sit down and really, and now,
wrap her brain around it.
Now at this time, Young Living has done such a good job of bringing the business side on more, and y'all's team especially has a lot of that built into it. At the time when we were starting back in 2013, there was very little of that because it was such a product driven company. And so I did a ton of research on that trip in Florida and just really got the vision, got the income disclosure out, started looking at that, really studied the comp plan. And so I was taking ownership of it, whereas before it had been him, explaining the comp plan and just constantly, bugging me with all these different comp plans on how we could make money. But I finally saw it for myself. But it started with following falling in love with the products and experiencing those firsthand. And so we came home, that check grew 4 times its amount from the month that I decided to work it till we got the next paycheck, which was 1 month time period. And
quadruple.
Yeah, in a matter of 3 months from when we decided, hey, we're going to do the business, and we were senior star with that first check that I mentioned when we went to Florida, within 3 months' time, we had gone, that next month we hit executive, and then 3 months' time from when we decided to start the business until we were silver. And then it just, every rank we reached within a 6-month or less time period, with the exception of platinum, which now we've been at for a while just because it's meeting our family's needs, and we're making it, a balance between putting in work on the office and our family and our Young Living business. And so platinum has more than substantially replaced my income in the office. And then he'll talk in a little bit about how Young Living, just as a whole company, has brought so much business into our office, and then just friendships and mentorship with that. And so right now our checks, substantially replaced what I would have been making in the office, because our overhead for what we have to spend, the 100 PB, which is about $100 a month, in order to gain all of our bonuses and commissions from Young Living, it's such a small overhead for what we make in the office. So.
Okay, so there's 2 things with this. Like, the thing that I want to give you guys is 2 stories. One, and you're kind of hearing them both intertwined, is one, the quality of the products, and the reason we started implementing the products first. Because for us, and this, I know this is for you guys too as practitioners, in order for us to use a product on ourselves or on the patients, it has to be the best product out there. When we started looking into essential oils in order to incorporate them into the office, like, I was not familiar at the time years ago with how they work. So I researched and I did all the digging, because I was doing all of the protocols of nutrition. And the thing that I saw when I started adding in essential oils into every single nutritional protocol with patients was that the results, they got results in half the time. I took them off of most of their other products because they didn't even need them, and they stayed well longer. I was getting better results, and they were stabilizing. And what I had been seeing, the transition in a trend before that, was I was having to put more and more patients on more and more herbs and products in order to support adrenals or whatever I was working on, because it just wasn't holding.
And depending on your population, we saw this the most with children and then with elderly too. Sometimes it was really hard to get their compliance with our protocols. And so with Young Living, what was really easy is if they didn't want to do it, it was very easy to get participation with turning on a diffuser versus them popping a pill or taking,
so many modes of application.
So I could, with a kid, the mom could sit there and use the diffuser or massage. And so there is a lot of different means. And then if we had digestive issues where they couldn't do their supplements, then again, the oils gave us so many options with that. And so from a practice standpoint, that's the side of it that we loved.
Yeah, and as far as quality of the product, the reason that we stuck with Young Living, because so let's time lapse this back. About 11 years ago, we were introduced to Young Living, right? We started using the concentrate. We didn't ever actually use or sell an essential oil out of the box. Never pulled it out the box to use for 6.5 years. So that it's set back there a long time, and we didn't do anything with it.
And that's what we tell practitioners now, and you guys are seeing this just because of the trend, and it's not a fad, but people are getting more educated on essential oils. When they try them, they like them. And so we're telling practitioners, hey, you may not want to do this business, but we recommend that you do, because they're buying it from somebody. It might as well be you.
Yeah, you're losing patients because they're going to use the oils, and they want to have practitioners that are familiar. So we started incorporating them in. The quality of Young Living is the highest of any essential oils company in the world, because 2 things. We own our own farms, and we have a seed to sale promise. That's the thing, the only thing you need to know. We own our own farms, which means that we have control of the product, and the partner farms that we have to adhere to all of our standards, or we don't do business with them. And the seed to sale promise ensures that we know what goes into the oil from the time the seed goes in the ground to the time the oil goes on your skin or in the diffuser or whatever happens. So quality is the highest, because as far as us recommending product to patients, we want it to be the best out there. So do you, so that they're getting the changes and they're getting the results that they need. That was one. From the business side of the way that we incorporate oils in the office, because I know that they wanted us to kind of share a little bit about how I incorporate that in, to give you a little kind of a sneak peek of that. It's really not any different than any other nutritional company except for one step. So, other nutritional companies or other products that you guys carry and use, you guys have retail space in the office. Like if this is my shelf behind my desk, I've got products sitting up here. Well, you can do the same thing with Young Living. We do the exact same thing with Young Living. We have a lot of oils, or Nature Red, or the cleaners, or the Thieves line. We have the protein powder. We have that there for the patients for retail, and we do sell a lot of retail. That's one mode of income that we do bring in from the product. Second mode of income is from actual wholesale signups and distributor signups, because it only makes sense for you to sign them up because it's in the best interest of the patient for them to get an account, because they get a better deal on the product. They can earn points to get their own free products through the company, and you get commission on that forever because you help them with the product. Period. I mean,
and that's really important for us because
it's just a commission-based sell on it.
We're in a really transient area, and so a lot of people will live here for a little while and then move. And so what we were finding is we would pour all of this knowledge and education and the adjustment relationship to these patients, and then when they left our office, if they were just buying stuff off of the shelf, then we lost the income from that patient. Well, now what we're seeing, which is the beauty of network marketing, not only are we maintaining that relationship with them, but if they're buying something and they already have an account through us, then no matter where they move, we're still benefiting from all that we poured into and are continuing to pour into that relationship, financially and relationally. The way that we phrase that in the office too, because this is a question that always comes up with practitioners, is that he will have protocols that he will work up with them just like you would work up any other nutritional or supplement protocol. And then they'll come to our desk, and our girls are trained in verbiage just like they are any other thing. And so
they're scripted.
Exactly. So say that he was recommending, lavender or lemon or whatever, a lot of compliance stuff that you may have heard floating around, that is taken off the table when they're in the room with us, because HIPAA allows us to really treat them as practitioners. And so we do make up treatment plans with the products. And so when they come up with their form to get the products that they need, our staff will ask them, do you by chance have a wholesale membership with Young Living? They know immediately what the answer to that is based off of, the look on the patient's face. And the easiest way for them to understand that in our area, because so many people utilize it, is a Costco or Sam's membership. And so if they give them a confusing look, they say, unlike some of our other companies, Young Living offers you the option of being a wholesale member just like Costco or Sam's. But unlike Costco or Sam's that just give you a card and a coupon book for your membership, Young Living gives you the option of different kits. And our most popular one is the one that comes with several oils and a diffuser. And the oils that Dr. Jim Bob is recommending actually come in the kit, because oftentimes they do, because 11 this month, there's 12 out of that. There's quite a chance, that one of the ones that he's going to,
and they're showing them, they have a sheet,
is in there. We're a product of the product in our home as well as in our office. And so our diffuser is going at the front desk, it's going in the rooms, we clean with it. And so it's something that subconsciously they're constantly familiar with, because we're integrating that into every part of our practice just because it's a part of who we are. And so we let them decide, no strings attached, whether they want that wholesale membership to, just like Sam's and Costco, get the same pricing that we as an office do to purchase their products. They have the choice to purchase them from us at wholesale with what we've got on the shelf available to them, or they can log on through their account and do that, anywhere in the nation that they're at through that. And so that's just the way that they explain it, and there's no strings attached. They can do whatever, because we really don't care if they have a wholesale membership, because North Texas, the area that we're at, is one of the #1 markets for Young Living. And so we do have a lot of patients who come to us simply because they know that we're well versed and educated in Young Living and don't mind utilizing that in their wellness regimen and helping walk out that journey with them. And so sometimes they'll have memberships on other teams, regardless of who their membership is with, and we choose to offer them our wholesale discount that we purchase if there's something in the office that they're wanting to purchase. And so the beauty of this is that
you don't have to do that.
Yeah, it's your own business, just like your practice is your own business. And so you can choose to run it however you do, but that's something that we tell people, just because I love that I have something just like my pregnancy and childbirth classes that people come to our office to attend. I love that we've got Young Living products that bring people into a chiropractic office who may not otherwise come in there. And so they're coming in and seeing my office, and maybe it's not getting me a membership that way, but it oftentimes brings us a patient. And so it's been a blessing not only to our Young Living business, but to our practice. That makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. Because, yes, Whitney agrees. Because the way that we incorporate it into the office, it's a part of every protocol that we recommend. Because of just infusing, if you will, no pun intended, or maybe pun totally intended, the oils into the nutritional protocols that we do. So we get referrals from all over the country for help with nutrition with essential oils, because there's not that many practitioners at all that are utilizing essential oils as a part of their actual protocols. So there's a huge open market for you on just learning a next step on nutrition, no different than you learning your herbs or learning your nutrition or learning any of the protocols you have in the office. It's one more step of learning, okay, these oils are supportive of this system. This essential oil is good for delivering oxygen to this area, and understanding what the constituents in the oils do, so that when you're talking to the patient, no different than anything else, that you can say, hey, I know you have XYZ and this system's needing support. Boom, here's peppermint, or boom, here's Endoflex, or whatever, right? But having doctors that are versed in that and practitioners to be able to offer that, the opportunity of that is huge, 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 because again, no one's offering that. So I do a lot of nutritional consults for patients who already have other doctors, who already have other chiropractors, and I may not adjust them, but they come to me for the nutrition because we utilize the oils, and they know that we know what to do with them, and they know that we're educated and that we're very familiar with those products and all that. So,
and we can't see you guys obviously to know what you're thinking, and nobody's
but you're all beautiful.
Nobody's typing it in right now, and so y'all very well may be thinking and just not wanting to say it. Okay, I hear you guys talking about, you know, the business side of this, that you stepped away to Florida to learn, or, you know, to learn your oils just like you do with herbs and vitamins. And this was our argument and why we left it alone so long and stupidly didn't do it, because we didn't know that we were too busy running a practice, whether that's an office manager or a doctor. And so what I would say to that is you're leaving a huge opportunity on the table, not only to financially bless you, but to see huge changes in your patients, because like we've spoken to, we love to see on a daily basis how these oils are changing our patients with their wellness journey. The other side of that is just financially. In 2014, we had no idea. We were gold ranked in the company. And so at this point, it was taking care of not only our mortgage and our car payment, but a lot of our just personal bills that we were living off of. And we were pregnant with our third, and he ended up dying shortly after birth from a genetic issue that we didn't know to expect. And so just with the grief of that, that was something that pulled us away from the office for a month. And so often in talking to owners and practitioners, you don't think about the things that are going to pull you out of the office. And so we didn't see what a huge financial stressor that could have been, but because of Young Living and just the safety net that had provided us, that wasn't an issue. The other thing is that your patients are paying you. And so whether that's, you know, a lot during the day or a little bit, take some time each day, and you can start to slowly learn this and integrate one thing at a time as you're comfortable. And the other thing that we recommend on our teams, and what I was in the role of doing, is that if you are in practice full time, you may not be able to put the full work into this, and that's a very valid point and argument. And so appoint somebody, whether that's a spouse or an office manager or somebody, to help integrate this into your office and take over the work of this until the checks start making enough of a difference to where you can take a little bit of time away and study it that way. But we never start our practitioners out being solely responsible for their business. And so typically it's their sponsor who's responsible for that. And then we'll work with either their office manager or their head assistant or a spouse to really help them take care of the business.
Yes, because I mean, I want to be really clear, like I'm full-time practice. My job, my role in the Young Living business that we have is to help patients in the office and to set up protocols and do the best that I know to do for the patient in the room. I don't sign them up for the wholesale membership because that's not my job. My role is not positioning and figuring out the actual network marketing side of like building the team. My other role after that is I help with personal development and product training inside our team afterwards. But Cindy, like
we were platinum at the early stages of platinum before he ever came on to do the business side within our team.
Yeah, well, other than using the product in the office and just working with patients in the office. So like our partnership and the way that we do our teamwork of it is she handles the logistical side of that for us. And that's a really valid thing to talk about that she brought up is like you're full-time in practice. You yourself, the practitioner, which is one big turnoff, you may not have the time to run the business side that much on your own. That's okay. There's a way other options in order for you to be able to do it and other people to help you with it. So that you can get the full benefit.
Putting the work into on that. So. Yep. And Erica, not to specifically answer your question, but in a roundabout way, because this probably applies to everybody that's on the call. And another thing that comes up a lot, when people want to start integrating it in their office, because we do have so many that offer it as retail, whether they're selling it as straight retail or at wholesale or doing a combination, we tell them to look at who their practice sees and what their practice mission is and pick 5 to 10 products that they want to start trying out in the office that apply to their patients. And so for a pain clinic, that may be something like the new power dries. If they're just, seeing like the typical chiropractic pain, musculoskeletal stuff, the pain cream, Agilise, deep relief, Copa-Eva, that sort of thing. And so pick some stuff that you feel like you'd like to use in your practice and just try it out that way and see how it goes. For us, because we're seeing so many families, the Thieves was a normal place to start because we do have moms and dads who are coming in going, okay, I want to get the toxins out. What are some more natural options? And so we could speak to that when they came out with the whole Kids Sense line. That was something that we could get behind just because of what we saw as a practice. And so we always tell practitioners, okay, what does your practice look like? What typically does well in your practice as far as supplements and stuff? And let's start out there with 5 or 10 things, trying it out that way. And then that gives you time to get comfortable and kind of get your foot in the door with your products. And then you can move on to knowing things better to where when specific diagnoses come up, like hypothyroidisms and stuff that you're mentioning in that question, how the products work and which ones to work with.
And the thing is, like, we're not going to go into individual diagnosis stuff on here, but I'll more than gladly help you with that.
If you're a practitioner.
Yeah, if you're a practitioner, like, message me on that, and I'm more than happy to help you with part of that stuff. JB, will you tell us how the use of wild products has grown your practice? Oh, wow. Okay, well.
We always laugh about this because we have people all the time ask, like, what's the numbers look like on that? And we can't really quantitatively, like, we can say what our Young Living checks are, but it does so much more than just our checks.
Okay, so, like, perfect example. Since starting to work with the products and really myself as a doctor integrating into the company and really using the products and digging in and helping her with it, we average between 45 and 60 new patients a month. So we're not like crazy high volume, but we're pretty high volume. I mean, we see an average of about 45 to 50 patients a day, that kind of thing. So, we're decently busy. And so for the new patients, for the last 2 years, out of 10 new patients that I get in the office, 8 of those are from a Young Living referral easily, like either from a team referral, from another Young Living member, from someone knowing that we're leaders in Young Living and that we use the products and they want somebody to help with that, at least that. So for the last 2 years, at least 40 of the new patients a month easily, if not more, have come from Young Living. So you figure 40 new patients a month off of that. If you figure that the lifetime value of a patient in our office is roughly $5,000 to $8,000 a patient, you can kind of do the math on that as far as like the amount of patients. And that's, for the last, 3 years, 2.5 to 3 years consistently. And then the other side of that is, we sell a lot of retail in the office. I'd have to pull numbers on that to even see it, but we sell a lot of retail in the office aside from just the residual commission that we get from Young Living because of leading a team. And then again, you throw in the residual on top of that. So, all in all, like as far as like how much it's grown the office, I was talking to one of mine and Les's good friends about this the other day. In the last 2 years, it's high 6 figures. Just to be completely black and white, straight up about it. So, and
the comparison from a business side, our CPA does all of our taxes, but it's so fun to see how much more the Young
He's
Living.
Like, you guys are doing a lot on this.
But the Young Living side of it is so much easier to deal with that and gives us so many benefits as far as write-offs and stuff, whereas the office, it creates more stress on that side just because of how taxes are structured. And so we're constantly talking to practitioners about look into this as a
well, because here's the thing. Let's all be real. If I'm not adjusting patients from a chiropractic side, ain't nobody getting paid.
Right.
If my hands aren't on patients, then yes, I'll talk about that. If my hands aren't on patients, the light bill doesn't get paid. The staff doesn't get paid. The malpractice insurance doesn't get paid. That time that she said that we had to take off a month from the office when Evans, our third baby, passed away, our office tanked. Like I had 2 associate doctors at the time. I came back and the office was in the red, and it was like in a bad. It went bad. The Young Living business, we didn't touch it either for the full month, and our check went up because that's the beauty and that's the incredible side of network marketing and the relationship marketing model is you're helping people get what they want and need in their dreams. so that you can get what you want and need in your dreams on the other side.
As far as if we carry retail inventory or not, that's what I was referring to do when we tell practitioners starting out to pick 5 to 10 products that they feel like would do well in their office. We always have a motto of one to show and one to go in the office. With Young Living, oftentimes that one to show will be one that we sample out, either trying on patients, obviously with their permission in the room, or sending them home with a little bit at first when we
I don't do no people in the room.
Right. I did. So
she did. I did do that. There's
our
a little
difference
difference
of how we practice, but that was just part of our way of sharing, because we couldn't teach as many classes as we wanted to in the beginning. And so we would sample out products, because in our experience, every time they tried it, still to this day, they end up really liking it and utilizing it. So that was one way that we did with that. It turns over really fast because, again, we're carrying things in the office that really speak to what we love to use ourselves, and then that go along with our practice philosophy and who we're seeing. And so it's a lot of
we're only getting products we know our patients are going to use. So a typical example of that, to answer your question, if we get an order of specific products, not random stuff that just but like we specifically bring in an order of retail for the office on a Monday, by that Friday it's gone. We don't keep retail in the office very long, and so we're normally out of everything, especially heavy hitters like Ningxia Red, the things like the Deep Relief Roll-Ons, Breathe Again, Valor, like the things that, like lemongrass, the things that we use for circulation support and things like that on patients or for kids, like those things, we turn them over in less than a week.
And we do keep flip kits on hand for those wanting to do membership, and so we count that as part of our inventory too, and those turn over really quickly.
That's really good. And I know we're at like 35 minutes, so what other questions do you guys have? Like, ask us anything. Other questions you guys have as far as like how we incorporate in the office, how we talk to patients. Literally the way that my process works in the room is I'm like, hey, Mrs. Jones, here's all your things, blah, blah, blah. Here's the core 4 supplements that you need to be on. I have everybody on fish oil, vitamin D, probiotics, and a greens drink or a greens product. Well, that's not core 4. I do that as my extra. Yeah, Ningxia's my 5th, but core 4. Then I say, here's the extra supplements that I want you to do to support that thing or to help with that diagnosis. And then here's your top 5 essential oils that I want you to look at using for that thing. And so I recommend that all out. Then they take it to the girls at the front desk. And the girls at the front desk then are, hey, okay, these oils are in the premium starter kit. You can get those if you want to go ahead and sign up. It's totally up to you. Here's how it works. Or here they are on the shelf right here. You're going to pay a little bit more on that, but that's still an option too, whatever you want to do. That kind of thing. Does that make sense? And so that's kind of how that works as far as the flow of it in the office. Okay. What other questions? Les, Christine, what other things you guys have questions on as far as, how that works and stuff in our office? Why am I so tall? Was that? No? Our kids are doing good in the back. Let's see. Is the office staff involved in the YL business? All right, so here's how we do that with our office staff. All of our office staff have accounts, and they all have business accounts. So there's a couple. They all have
wholesale memberships.
Yeah, they all have wholesale memberships. Okay, watch those two for me. Okay. They all have wholesale memberships. So yes, the short answer to that is they're all involved in the business. Now, they don't all work the business, but we use it as an opportunity to bonus them, because if, like, Lauren is one of the girls that works our front desk, that's a front desk CA for us. If she talks to a patient and is like using an oil, because she does a lot, uses them really religiously with her and her son. If she's like, hey, and she uses an oil and she talks to a patient and that patient signs up and she does the work to get them to sign up or to utilize the product, then we bonus her that placement and allow her to have that $50 enrollment bonus so that she gets the benefit of that. So we do that specifically with all the staff, and that's one way that we use bonus systems in the office for them. So yeah, they all have, but they all bought them themselves. Like, those weren't gifted out. They all had to really utilize the products and become a product of the product themselves and utilize it. Then we, help them with it.
And that's akin to our other supplements and stuff in the office too, because they're able to purchase any of the supplements that we carry in the office at wholesale pricing. So that's
our staff, yes.
Mentally that they already got on that, but it's awesome to have the other side as an option for a business. Some of them have pursued it and dabbled in it a little bit of it, but mostly they just enjoy their bonuses.
Yep.
And then
exactly. So to answer Christy's, talking about our top
hard
5
thing to answer, Christy.
No, this is not hard. Okay, watch. Top 5. Ready? Nature Red. Okay. Nature Red. This I work chiropractic office. Deals with kids. Ready? Nature Red. Deep Relief. Endoflex. Lemon. And probably frankincense. That's like the top 5 that I sell in the office all the time. Like we utilize a ton of the Young Living products. We utilize a lot of the supplements too, like Endogize. We use it a lot. We
retail a lot more than 5.
Yeah, we have a lot more than 5. But if you want to give me top 5, that's it. Pure Protein Complete. We sell a lot of that.
Another way that we, I'll get back on camera so y'all can see my face, sorry. Another way that we started trying and educating ourselves on products was through, when we figured it out, Essential Rewards, not only placing our monthly orders on Essential Rewards so that we built up points that we could utilize to buy other products that we wanted to try, but we hit that 300 minimum PV mark every month too, so that we maximize on all the freebies that Young Living are offering in that month, and then we can try them out that way. And so some of our things that we retail now are things that we've built up through maximizing on those freebies.
Just list them all, Christy says. Yeah. Erica, how do you handle patients that choose? Well, we hand them wit when he's crying. That's how we handle them. No, the way that we handle other patients that choose to use other brands of oils, this is exactly what I say to them. So in the first visit, when I'm getting their consult and I'm asking them questions and just finding out about them and whatever, like any of you guys do, practitioners, and you're like, hey, how long have you had that? Whatever. How long has it been? Is it worse when you're asleep? Is it worse during the day? Whatever. One of the sections of the paperwork says, do you use any supplements? And I ask them, are you using or have you heard of essential oils? And the patient's going to say one of a couple things. Either A, the patient's like, no, I have no idea what those are, which is pretty rare here. It may be different where you're from, but they'll say, I have no idea what essential oils are. I go, great. We'll talk about it on your next visit. I'm going to work up some protocols for you, and I'm going to incorporate them in, and I'll show you how those work. They're fantastic. We utilize them every day. They go, great. The other patient may say, yeah, I've heard of them, but I've never tried them. I have a brother, sister, mother, pastor that uses Young Living. I go, great. That's the ones we recommend. That's what we use. We'll talk about it, and then I talk to them about the oils after that. If they say, hey, we use oils from Plant Therapy or doTERRA or Acacia or whatever other company that they use, my pad response all the time is I go, great. Just like anything else, I go, great. I go, I don't utilize those products because we use Young Living because the quality control is higher. We have a seed to seal promise that makes sure that the product is 100%. So what I'll do is in the protocol, I'm going to give you blends and oils that are Young Living blends and oils. And then if you want to try to convert those and figure out what to use with your company, you're welcome to do that. I just can't speak to that company. And that's all I say, because it really is, it's their choice. I want them to be able to use what they want. And we have, multiple really high level doTERRA distributors that are patients have been friends of ours for a lot of years. I'm not gonna not see them and help them because they use another oil company. I'm fine with them doing whatever they want to do for them. But for us, we only use Young Living, so I can't speak to their product.
And that was something that we were accustomed to speaking to from the very beginning, because we had certain, fish oil brands that we stood behind, or different, exercise programs and stuff that we liked. And so we would educate the patient, or even on adjusting care plans. And we just tell them, you're in charge of your health. And so we want to partner with you in that. So here's our recommendations. You can take them or leave them. But, we're speaking results and expectations off of where we're coming from. So this is our recommendation.
Exactly.
So same thing with Young Living.
One other thing I'd show you guys that you guys can ask Christy and Les and everybody who is on the call that's in your upline to really help you with this, which one thing I will say is you guys have fantastic support in your area. Fantastic. Yeah, we're very jealous. We would love to be in your support circle. Trust us. And so really take advantage of it and ask them. I mean, like any of the, the leaders on here will help you with anything you need and get you resources. One resource you need to ask them about is this book right here. It's called 4-Year Career. This is the Young Living edition.
It's a game changer for us.
Yeah, this was a game changer for sure for us because, well, let's be honest again, for Cindy, because this guy, I've been passionate about network marketing and relationship marketing since I was 18. But it was just going to take a company that we both agreed on, that we're really on board with, that was really incredible product, a really incredible company, and that had the integrity to back it, and a comp plan that makes sense. Everything that you have in Young Living. This 4-year career book talks about why network marketing is a valid business model, and why if you work diligently at it for those 3 to 4 years, you can set up an income that is a substantial retirement size income that stays, and that is really stable. So, really just check that out. It's another thing that I would totally recommend, you guys to get. Okay. Any other questions? I mean, I know we've been around 45 minutes, and so I want to just steward your time and stuff. Here, click that one again. Is your office on, that's a great question. Is your office on a YO professional account? If not, why not, or why? Our office, let me click over this so I can see myself in the screen. We did not do a professional account in our office, and we do everything under a individual wholesale account, because as a practitioner, someone who has a retail space, you're not required to do a professional account in order to sell retail. You can sell your products retail. Now, the reason we chose not to do a professional account is because with a professional account, you only qualify for half of the volume, half of the OGV that you sell off of that account. Meaning, if I have a professional account over here and it's underneath me, and the professional account sells $1,000 worth of product, or 1,000 PV, it only qualifies 500 of it. So you don't get the full value of the OGV because of the extra discount they give you to sell retail. You do get an extra discount. You get an additional 16% discount in order to sell at retail. But in the scheme of things, you also can't build a downline or a team.
Order essential rewards.
You cannot order essential rewards. So you have higher shipping, and you can't build a team. So there is no residual off of the professional account. It's literally straight retail, just like any other product you would use. So that's why we chose to stick with a personal wholesale account, because on the long run, it makes a whole heck of a lot more financial sense to use the wholesale account and your personal account in order to do it all.
Especially now with the new Essential Rewards program that they're rolling out in September, that you guys will get education on if you haven't already. But the percentage back that you're going to get on that and the gifts is just phenomenal.
Yeah, it's crazy awesome.
So we utilize Essential Rewards. We order way more than one premium starter kit, which you can only have one on a professional account. So we love that professional account option is there for especially like our classmates and stuff who may totally have their guard up and not want to hear about MLMs like what we were in the beginning. But we do not lead with that nor recommend it unless we see them, not.
There's a couple specific unique opportunities that comes into play, but not usually. So do we host classes in the office? Yes, we hold classes in the office. Now, the way that it's changed now, we ourselves still host classes and we teach them ourselves in the office, but majority of the time now at the level we're at, our downline and our team utilizes our office to teach classes in every single week. No different than you guys teaching patient orientation classes and things like that. We teach essential oils orientation classes and nutrition classes, cooking classes. She did an actual roller bottle make and take for back to school basics on immunity, all kinds of stuff for our patients last weekend, and had a great response from that.
We love any excuse to get people in the office.
We like to teach though. That's like our jam.
Yeah,
we kind of like
to
that.
Teach, but we also always, when we got out of school, had a passion for bringing people into chiropractic, especially our home of chiropractic, because we would get that. Why in the world does a child need to be adjusted, or
why would you adjust a baby?
And so it was always a lot of fun for us to bring people in who may not have otherwise set foot in our office. And so the oils themselves and then the classes were a great way to do that. And so we love hosting stuff in our office, whether we're teaching it or not. So,
absolutely. Great question. Anything else? Those are great questions.
Sorry, you're going to hear the lawnmower.
I was going to say our lawn care yard guys going outside the window. Those are great questions, though. It really is the thing that you need to hear is that it is completely up to whatever you want to do as far as building. There is freedom and flexibility for you and your office to do anything that your heart desires, and your family. I mean, the reason that we're able to sit here together when I would normally still be at the office, like normally I would still be there, but I take off 2 to 3 hours earlier to be able to have time with the kids. The only reason that that is possible and that we get to sit here and do this together is because of the incredible abundance that we get from Young Living, because of the monthly residual and because of just the freedom it gives us.
We were initially both working 6 days a week in the office. Then he went down to 6 days a week, and then now he's down to 4 days a week, and he comes home at 3:30 when the kids are off of school. And so it's an awesome schedule for us, and that's all afforded to us by Young Living.
Are you networking with MDs, DOs in your area, or are your patients reporting support from their primary care doctors? We network with, we know all of the area practitioners, and we are networked with them already, and we've been doing business with them for the last 13 years. So yes, on the networking side, the patients and stuff that we see, it's a little bit of a mix. I would say that part of the patients, that they go, if the practitioners or the DOs that we know real well, that are really open to natural protocols anyways, they're very receptive and very encouraging.
Our personal pediatrician utilizes them in her office.
Yes. So part of those practitioners, but you got to remember too, like we got to give you the disclaimer of in the Metroplex in Dallas-Fort Worth, we have a ton of really holistic, really good doctors and stuff that are really open-minded. So I can't speak for a lot of other areas. Some of the doctors aren't familiar and aren't interested. And so they're not going to pour into the patient and ask and help them with it because it's just not something that they don't know about. But in our area, there is, there's a lot of good reception to it.
And we have a wide variety of practitioners on our team who aren't only located in this area. And so we have occupational therapists, physical therapists, massage therapists, chiropractors, MDs, DOs.
Sure. It's a good question. If you could only use one oil in your clinic exam rooms, which one? Any sensitivities to worry about? COPD, asthma. Again, that goes back to your personal office and specifically which patients you see the most of. If there was patients with really severe COPD or asthma, yeah, there's some of the different eucalyptus oils and stuff that you just want to be cognizant of, and you want to make sure that you're not necessarily diffusing a lot of. One perfect example is we stay pretty mellow on the diffusing, meaning most of the things that we diffuse in the office are like citrus oils because most people aren't going to have any issues with those as far as them creating any kind of a detox reaction or anything like that. Now, as far as
again, that's the beauty of using Young Living because obviously where we're at and just with working with different aromatherapists and stuff, especially being in a pediatric clinic, you hear the cautions of, don't use this oil, that oil, and the other. But with the purity of Young Living, we personally haven't run into any issues with it. Now we still stay cautious to it, but it's just a great way to educate people on, your purity, are they therapeutic based, perfume based, what other adjuvants are in them, that sort of thing.
Yeah, because with that therapeutic grade quality, I mean, we really don't have a lot of worry about that. Now, here's the thing about the way that I work inside the rooms. Myself, I do not apply essential oils to my patients in the rooms for really two reasons. One, I don't have time. Like my time schedule with patients is blocked so close together that I don't have time to go get an oil, come back, open the oil, apply the oil, do the thing, make sure they're good, check, you know what I mean? Like that's not a part of my office schedule. The second reason why I don't is because by applying oils in the office to all these patients, I can't apply oils to 50 patients in a day because I can't apply oils to me like every 5 minutes for 50 patients a day. That's just a lot of essential oils for me to use. And so we recommend them a lot. They'll utilize some of the oils in our active therapy area, in our therapy bay. That's where they'll apply oils, or in the massage room that's upstairs in our office. So for us, the number one oil that we apply on patients and that we utilize consistently in our office is Copaiba. Number one. We had a therapist who worked for us for a while, and he literally had Copaiba in his pocket 24/7, and that's what he utilized, and we utilized Copaiba really consistently. So if there was one oil that really would go the distance on pretty much anything that we saw in the office, it would probably be Copaiba. That's a pretty good pick for us in our office. That's a great question though. It's kind of like that. If you were stranded on an island and you just had one oil, what oil would you pick? Frankincense. No, that's not true. I don't know what I would pick. If you had one oil, what would you pick?
Probably a blend. I'd be cheating.
Believe. You would go Believe. Okay, so her favorite blend is Believe. She loves that blend. My favorite blend is either Awaken or Harmony, honestly.
And second to that would be Ula Balance.
Ula Balance, that's a good one. I like it. Thank you for all your information. You are so welcome. So welcome. All right. So last 5 minutes. We the dog's asking this question. Just let's say we have 5 more minutes to answer some questions for you guys. So, oh, here we go. Hold on. There's like 2 places where the question will come up. For massage therapists, what oils are great to get started?
That's an easy cheat one because we actually have massage oils that people don't utilize a lot.
Yeah, actual massage oil.
Yeah.
Like that would be for a massage therapist. You get the Ortho Ease and the Ortho Sport massage oil, and you use the massage oil. You don't even
now ours are doing therapeutic massage, and so
we have a raindrop therapist. Right. So we
if
kind of
it's
go
not
more.
For that, then they do like the V6 or just using plain coconut oil as their carrier oil of choice, and then they have several different oils that they themselves personally like. Lavender, of course, a lot, copaiba, that sort of thing for non-therapeutic. But for therapeutic, the massage oils is a great way to get started and cheap.
So we do the oils in massage, Joanne, 2 different ways. One, if a patient knows that they have an oil that they love from Young Living, they'll bring it, and the massage therapist will utilize that as the part of the massage. Okay, so that's one way. The other way is we have a bunch of oils in there. The top oils that they use in the office for massage, lavender's huge. They use aroma seeds. Aroma seeds is huge. They use that. Copaiba, lemongrass.
Huge for soft.
Yeah, Valor, like we do use Valor.
Yes, we kept
not as much anymore, but yeah, that. What else? That's really like the main ones. Those are the main ones
they
I
have
use.
a diffuser going in there.
Yeah, they have a diffuser going all the time. Now that does speak to one other thing that I'll cover real quick while you guys are thinking up other questions. Is what's the deal with everybody going out of stock? Like what's the deal with Young Living going out of stock on some of their products? Well, the thing about that is the out of stock. I love because number one reason. The reason that I love it is because it reminds me that they're not going to cheapen the quality of the oil just to keep product on the shelf. There's other essential oil companies out there that their big boast is, hey, we never run out of frankincense. We have hundreds of thousands of new members a month. We never run out of oils. You know what? That scares the junk out of me. Because the only way that that's possible with the amount of people utilizing essential oils and getting into essential oils is if they're putting chemicals in the oil to thin it out, which happens all the time. So quality is key and quality is king with Young Living. And so they're not going to cheapen the quality of the oil. So you'll see certain ones because, that's the way that farming works. Sometimes you have a great crop. Sometimes you don't. Sometimes you have a hurricane that wipes out one area. Sometimes there's like flooding, whatever happens. And so there are some of the products that go out of stock, but because Young Living has so many incredible products and there's so many products to use, then there's always something else that's a replacement. And there's like lists on the Young Living website and the Essential Oils desk reference of other like sister and brother oils to the ones that you like the best. So there's always ones to use. Any other questions? Hope that's helpful. Is this helpful? I hope for the practitioners and stuff on here, is this helpful? I want to be able to answer questions for you specifically. Whitten, do you have any other questions? Do you have any questions for anybody? Tell them. Anything? Yes? Okay, good. Just making sure. I want to make sure that this is super helpful for you guys, that it gives you some money more than applicable. Learn so much? Okay. Les is right. Les said that I married up. He's talking to me. He's talking to me. I asked the question. Les said I married up, and it is true. My wife is a gorgeous genius, so she's a gorgenius. It's going to get worse. Hopefully, we're almost out of time because the jokes aren't going to get better. You did too, Les. It's so true. All right. Well, we're going to go ahead and wrap up. I'm going to pass my awesome baby off so I can close this down. I'm going to stop the recording on here. Thank you guys again so much. Thank you guys again so much for logging on and for taking time out of your practice, out of your family, out of your free afternoon. We know that your time is valuable, and so we value that. And I know that Les and Christy and Joanne and everyone else does too, and Erica. So thank you so much for taking time. And take time to go look at Young Living again. If you're in Young Living and you're using the products, use the products and reach out to these guys and really dig into the business, because if you're not doing the business, then you are leaving a lot of cash on the table that it needs to go to someone, and it might as well be you. All right. If not, send them to me and I'll take care of them for you. I promise. And I'll take that. But again, if you're not utilizing the products yet, you are leaving a huge market on the table of people you could really change their life on with the therapeutic products from Young Living. All right. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you.